Hello everybody, today we're going to take a look at a scenario where Peru forms an empire. Now, I really wanted to record on PaintNet, but the thing is that I'm not at home and I'll probably get home, and so like if I'm not home, I obviously can't really, actually do videos on my laptop because I would have done this on PaintNet, but the thing is that I'm arriving, pretty late at home. I think I'm arriving at a bit late, definitely a bit late, like a night, not really night, but not, yeah, it's gonna be a bit, I'm gonna stay here for a bit, and not my house, and I really wanted to get a video out today because I did play Grace on Roblox with Daniel Gaming Time. Please watch that video, by the way, it's pretty cool. I played amazing, just to be clear, yeah, definitely. But I'm gonna have to pull this on Painted, and I hope I don't have to do this again in the future. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe, actually, definitely in the future, I will probably post a video on Painted. Actually, but yeah, this is what if Peru formed an empire. So their first target is obviously going to be Ecuador because of its how do I say this, lack of strength. By its, I mean Peru, not Peru, Ecuador. So Peruvian troops start moving in from the south and also from the east, as Ecuador really doesn't stand a chance now. And so Peruvian troops kind of cut this country into half, and the southern half is pretty much yeah. And in the north, similar stuff happened until the Peru just not Peru, Ecuador simply just capitulates. And the peace deal. It is going to be very simple. Full annexation. Yep, of course. Because we cannot let anybody live. That's not us. That's not us. Now they're setting the sights on Bolivia. And they just declare war on Bolivia. Bolivia, I'm not sure about their actual strength, but they do look strong. So and I believe, I mean, realistically, Peru and Bolivia are on good terms, and they would probably not fight in real life. But yeah, in this scenario, we'll assume they do. And they do fight back a bit in the north, but in the south, Peru is seeing massive success, as they kind of just take the part that borders Chile, and we do see that they get Argentina to join on their side, and yeah, this means a new ally, I guess. And yeah, now Bolivia is really fucked, as Argentinian troops come from the south over here. This front line over here is completely pushed back, so if you were wondering what happens to that. And Peruvian troops simply start pouring in, and yeah, they also wrap around like that around the borders. And Brazil kind of wanted to join in, but it's a bit too late now, and yeah, they get torn apart. And in the peace deal, how it happened, Argentina took a bit of land. They didn't really care enough to take more than this. And over here, Peru doesn't actually fully annex this thing. They do take a lot of its land, though. And as for the rest, they make it into puppet state, so that is pretty cool. So other than this happening, Chile gets an ultimatum that they're going to accept for the sake of their survival, I guess. And it is, first of all, give the Bolivian puppet this, so they can have so we have coast again, and give Argentina this. Actually, that's a bit of land, but they'll accept for, once again, the sake of staying alive. And I forgot where Santiago is. It's possible that Argentina took Santiago. I believe it's somewhere over here. But yeah, I don't think they took it though. Yeah, I don't think so. Anyways, now Argentina is finally connected with their exclave, Yippee. And in exchange for Peru, including Argentina in this ultimatum, Argentina signs an alliance with them, and this really scares South America. And Brazil decides to form an alliance against the Peruvians and the Argentinians. And by the way, I forgot to specify, but NATO, EU, UN, any of those are bye-bye, out of the window. And yeah, because realistically, the USA would probably stop this the moment Peru attacked Ecuador, but yeah, let's just say America's like blind or something. They're like busy like yelling at Zelensky or whatever. I don't know. They're busy with that or whatever. And yeah, we see Chile immediately joins. Yeah, I wonder why. We do see Brazil kind of force Guyana to join. Same with Uruguay. But Paraguay kind of wanted to join this, but yeah, unfortunately they didn't join in time. Not wrong color. They didn't join in time, and yeah. Peruvian troops come from their Bolivian puppet state, and so do Argentinian troops. Brazil quickly moves in to secure some land. And yeah, it's not a fun day for Paraguay. Eventually, Argentinian the end looks like this. And now let's see how Paraguay gets partitioned. So we see that Bolivia gets some land. Actually, no, they get a lot of lands that they fought a war with, which I believe it's called Chaco, the Chaco region. They get that because they did fight the war with Paraguay over before and lost it. Now they win as a Peruvian puppet. Brazil then takes some too, and the rest of the land is given over to Argentina. So Argentina takes this. Bolivia takes that part. This looks terrible. And the rest is annexed by the Brazilians. If you were wondering. And yeah, war is pretty close, but this happens. Venezuela, Peru goes ahead and recruits Venezuela. And together they go ahead and declare war on Colombia. There you go. Yeah, Colombia they weren't necessarily ready for this. They were pretty peaceful. But apparently, peaceful is not a word in Peru. Actually, Peruvian doesn't exist. It's Spanish and I guess Incan, if you really want to say any language native to Peru. But yeah. Or maybe South American Spanish, I guess. That's maybe South America, which includes Peru. But yeah. We see Venezuela also start invading. And realistically, Venezuela would get their asses kicked here. But we're going to ignore all sort of realism here because, yeah. And the rest will actually go ahead and surrender. Now, over here, Colombia is going to get fucked hard. So, oh damn. And oh damn. Damn. Really damn. Please work. Why isn't this working? What the hell is happening? Okay, thank you. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, this is going... It's kind of... yeah, it's kind of a bit drugged. I think Ibis Paint is a bit going crazy right now. So like I said, Venezuela takes all of this land. And I guess Peru is somewhat recognizable. I'm not sure if you were looking at this. I don't think you would have thought this was actually Venezuela. I think you would have said Gran Colombia, but lost land. No, this is Venezuela. And the rest of this is going to go ahead and unite with Panama, which actually gives great opportunity for Peru and Venezuela to go ahead and invade Panama. And Brazil says, if Venezuelan or Peruvian troops cross the border into Panama, then our alliance will be forced to declare war upon you. Yeah, next day. Yeah, immediately next day, what the hell? Next day, Panama is invaded. Yeah, awesome, right? They start getting crushed. Which, yeah. And they get fully kicked out of Colombia and even get pushed into their territory. But, yeah, Brazil wasn't bluffing. Boom, 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 boom. And boom. Now, once again, America would have realistically helped this anti-Peruvian thingy, but once again, we're ignoring any sort of realism here. So Peruvian troops will continue their invasion and will stop at the Panama Canal because they can't really cross that. That'd be, yeah. And instead, they have to send troops to their front over here because they didn't think that Brazil was actually being serious. They thought they were just bluffing. But no, we're not. And this Bolivian puppet is they're not strong at all. They're also pretty unstable. So yeah, Paraguayan rebellions pop up over here. And also Argentina is also facing said rebellions. Ignoring the fact that Brazil owns some of Paraguay, they're still going to fund those rebellions, and they also start crossing into here, aiming to cut Peru and Bolivia off from each other. And they also cross in here, and we're actually just ignoring the Amazon rainforest existence. So yeah, Brazil is doing extremely good at invading enemy territory, but in the north, Guyana is getting their asses kicked by Venezuela, and Uruguay is quickly wiped out by Argentina, mainly because their Buenos Aires is so close to Uruguay. Oh, also Chile, ignoring the fact that they're I guess they're kind of impossible to invade considering their geography, we're going to just ignore that. And we see that Argentinian troops kind of just go along the coastline and kind of work their way up, pretty much. And over here, we start seeing some pushback. Against the, yeah, it's so hard to do. Yeah, the Paraguayan rebellions are wiped out. And since Peru is at this point on par with Brazil, they do push back over here. Though it's a bit tougher in this northern territory that hasn't been assimilated yet fully. But eventually, they do kind of get Costa Rica to join, which I believe doesn't even have a military. But let's say like Costa Rica would become extremely militaristic, I guess, and they help out clean the rest of Panama. From here, yeah, Peruvian troops start crossing the border into the Amazon. Once again, extremely unrealistic, but will do, I guess. And from here, it's starting to get pretty bad for the coalition forces, as you know, they're getting pushed back pretty badly. Venezuela is pushing back, and they kind of just cut you off this part, which will be cleaned up by Peru. This will be cleaned up by Venezuela. And from here, we see the start of the massive invasion of Brazil. And Brazil is collapsing, and the government, despite the Peruvian magical ability to fly through the Amazon rainforest. Yes, because that's how they're doing it. Yes, they're flying. Yeah, they don't care. Guyana does the smart choice and surrenders. But Brazil doesn't surrender, but eventually they kind of are forced to, as the people don't want this anymore, and the rebellion breaks out, which calls to end this war, and it spreads pretty quickly. It may be supplied by Peru, and yeah, eventually peace has to occur, as the Brazilian government simply collapses. So let's take a look at how this peace really looks like. So in Panama, Peru here doesn't really take much land. They do take a bit. So yeah, I don't know if you can even notice how little they took here. Yeah. Then the rest of the land, actually not all of it, but most of the land can get awarded to Venezuela. And the rest is given to Costa Rica, which also officially aligns with the Peruvians. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot their name. Yeah, that was pretty weird. Once again, I don't think you'd say this is Venezuela. And let's not look at Brazil yet. So all of Chile will be annexed by Argentina. I say this is simple enough, because really nobody cares about Chile. Actually, a lot of people do care about Chile. I don't know why I said that. That was very mean of me. I'm sorry. So yeah, they take this. They also annex Uruguay, and now also Guyana exists. That's annexed by Venezuela. Now we're looking at Brazil. Oh boy, this is gonna be interesting. So let's start with Venezuela. Yeah, which at this point is kind of forming, I guess, a Grand Colombia, but with less, but I guess Grand Venezuela. I guess you can say they're forming that. And yeah, they go ahead. They don't have mercy. They take that, and once again, you cannot tell me this is Venezuela. I wouldn't believe you if I saw it and didn't know the context. Peru is also going to go through the same unrecognizable phase, I think. Yeah, hold up. Yep, nope. This isn't Peru, guys, anymore. This is a monster. What I've created, man. What have I created? Bolivia, they do take land too, and for a puppet state, they're kind of having their own mini empire here. I mean, obviously they lost a lot of land to the Peruvians, but for the most part, Yeah, they've done this. Um, um, yeah. This is taken by Argentina, and then for the rest, it is set under a new government. And yeah, this was what if Peru formed an empire. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I wish you bye-bye and a good day. And also, please like and subscribe, like, please. Like and subscribe for, like, I don't know, because I would like to get as much subscribers as possible. Maybe we could reach, well, I'm not sure. I don't even have a milestone, to be honest. I just would like you to subscribe, because yeah, I don't think I've ever done this type of content here, and I've been watching this type of content for a long time, because I've been watching Adizzpro for quite a bit, and I've watched a lot of his videos, and I've always wanted to do one of these. And yeah, next, if I ever do which I'll probably do, a next Empire video will most likely be on PaintNet, but this one had to be on Ibis Paint because I wasn't at home. I'm still not at home, but still. I hope you enjoyed. Bye bye.